Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first game of Part 2 here on our July 19th game day. The Boston Vandals on the road playing for pride in July to take on the Cleveland Wolves. Of course, the Vandals, that meant no playoff chance at all. They are not going to make it. But the Wolves currently hold the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference and only need 2 more wins on their season to clinch a spot. Can they get one of them here today? Let's find out. Vandals, Wolves, next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start another game here on CDL Live. The Boston Vandals on the road to take on the Cleveland Wolves. Boston, playing for pride in July. Unlike the Red Sox, the Vandals will not be making the playoffs. The Cleveland Wolves, of course, sit 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. 2 wins for them, and they can have a playoff spot clinched for sure. I mean, for certain. I mean, no possible way that they wouldn't, basically. So Cleveland really trying hard here. So they got 3 games left in the last 4 game days. 2, the other one, of course, being a bye. But nonetheless, 2 more wins for the Wolves, and they have a playoff spot. So huge game for the Wolves in this one. Boston just looking to gain an upset. And not only that, Dayton's now out, and they were the 11th place team. Carolina's in 10th, Jacksonville's in 9th. I know I'm doing a lot of talking here, but basically, if Cleveland wins today and Carolina loses, Carolina will be out of the playoff race. And it'll be down to basically just Washington, Cleveland, and Jacksonville for the last 2 spots in the Eastern Conference. Nonetheless, let's see what these teams bring to the table. Our starting lineups here. For the Boston Vandals, Silver Swoop will start things off, followed by Purple Indy. Monkey Ball takes the captain spot, and that 5-point gainer is Red Medina. To the home side of the field, the Cleveland Wolves come out with Mick D. Green, followed by Aqua Ferrari, stock 34 at the captain spot, and that 5-point gainer will be Blue F50. So here we go, game on. And it's going to be 5-0 Boston as Mick D. Green will go down. Now Silver Swoop takes down Aqua Ferrari, 10-0 Boston. And here Jacksonville has a bye today, and Cleveland has themselves in a tough spot. Stock 34 looking to keep them alive here. Out there against Silver Swoop, the heavy hitter. Stock 34, good defensively though. So it's power hitting up against defense on display, and defense wins. Stock 34, hangs on, gets the flip on Silver Swoop. 10-5, Boston in the lead, but here comes Purple Indy with all the aerodynamics, but nothing against Stock 34 there. 10-10, the game is now tied. Monkey Ball now out there, he'll get taken down. Stock 34, 3-0, going for the perfect game. Going for the team trick, as I call it. It's not just 3 flips. He's got hat trick. He's going for the team trick where he takes down a whole entire team. Of course, Red Medina trying to force this game into overtime. Not going to happen there. Stock 34 off camera, but still up. They'll go at it again. Stock 34 is still up. They switch sides, and Stock 34 hangs on. It's a team trick for him. 4-0. And the Cleveland Wolves, a huge comeback win over the Boston Vandals. That now works them up to 83 points on the standings. 1 more win for the Wolves, and they are in. Of course, they got a bye on the next game day, but Thursday, July 25th for you guys, you viewers watching the CDL out there, it's going to be the Cleveland Wolves and the Green Bay Dragons. Cleveland, like I said, 1 more win for them. Their last 2 games are in the last 2 game days. At Green Bay, and then they end the season with at San Francisco. So, pretty easy road, I would say, for the Wolves, but You got to win. I mean, there's a reason why the games are played. But nonetheless, the Wolves do win this one. After being down 10-0, they get the upper hand. 15-10 the final over the Boston Vandals. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the Los Angeles Blades taking on the Indianapolis Reapers. Should be a good game on CDL Live coming up. Stay tuned.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next game on tap, the Los Angeles Blades on the road to take on the Indianapolis Reapers. Reapers no chance of making the playoffs, but the Blades have already clinched that first seed in the Western Conference. But still, nonetheless, both these teams have cars that could definitely make it on the All-Star squad. Should be a very awesome game to watch. Blades, Reapers next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Live. It should be an entertaining game coming up. Both these teams are pretty good. As a matter of fact, one of them's really good. The Los Angeles Blades, number 1 seed in the Western Conference, that is clinched up for them. They're on the road to take on the Indianapolis Reapers. Now, the Reapers have no chance of making the playoffs now, but their lineup is pretty solid, especially with Gold Z28 on that squad. He definitely makes the Reapers a contender. Currently, Indy sits back in 12th place in the West, and unfortunately for them, they're just outside of the playoff berth. But nonetheless, another game for them here. Both these teams, 4th last game day, just going at it, and it should be entertaining. See what they bring to the table. Black Star will start things off for the Los Angeles Blades, followed by Red Spectite. At the captain spot will be Greelina, and then at 5-point gainer, Dragon Jr. To the home side of the field, the Indianapolis Reapers start off with Candy, followed by Green Enzo. Gold Z28 will be at the captain spot, and at 5-point gainer for the Reapers will be Speed Shot. So Candy and Black Star going at it here. And it's going to be 5-0 Blades in the lead. Black Star now up against Green Enzo. And Green Enzo will tie this game 5-5 the score. Here comes Red Spectite now. 10-5, just like that. The Blades got the lead back, but here comes Gold Z28. A defensive expert in this league. Up against another one, though. Red Spectite's pretty good, but Red Spectite goes down there. A weak collision, too. But nonetheless, 10-10, we are tied. Greelina now out there against Gold Z28. Should be a great battle. Both these cars good on the defensive side. But Greelina gets to the home side of the field here on that one collision. That could be crucial in this game. Because Gold Z28 not as good on the road side as he is the home side. And that proves true there. The Blades now lead 15-10. Speed Shot will try to send this thing to overtime. Greelina, though, he'll end it. 15-10 the final. The Los Angeles Blades with the win over the Indianapolis Reapers. Good game, like I said it would be. I predicted one right. But the Blades do have the win. And they're looking to finish the rest of their season strong. No doubt about it. Good start to that right here. Coming up next, Seattle Lumberjacks, Chicago Wind Attack on CDL Live. Stay tuned.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next game here on CDL Live. 2 teams with something to play for. The Seattle Lumberjacks on the road to take on the Chicago Wind Attack. The Wind Attack, with a win today and a Minnesota loss today, they will be Central Division champions for the 3rd year in a row. So they look to do their part and get a win. And then they'll hope Minnesota loses later. But nonetheless, the Seattle Lumberjacks, they got something to play for too. They are on the road in need of a win. It's either win or no playoff chance at all. So, for them, looking to keep their season alive. So here we go, Lumberjacks Wind Attack, next on CDL Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Live. Our next game about to take place, and it's a huge one. Look at how things are working out in the Western Conference. The Seattle Lumberjacks on the road to take on the Chicago Wind Attack. The Lumberjacks need a win to keep their season alive here. If they lose here today, they will be eliminated from the playoff race. Of course, right now the most they could get is 82, and the 8th seed Phoenix Firebirds have 81 at the moment. Of course, Phoenix plays later on against the who they play. This Phoenix play. Oh my God, where am I? Yeah, Phoenix has Roswell later on, but nonetheless. Now that I got my words all together, right? Yeah, so Seattle, they need a win. They can't lose. If they lose, their season, or playoff hopes, I should say, are done. As they are down to their last 3 games in these last 4 game days. They got a bye. The Chicago wind attack. Quite a little bit at stake for him here. As you know, a matter of fact, 2 more wins could clinch him a division title again for the 3rd straight year. But more than that, they could have the division clinched today, the Central Division that they're in. They could clinch it today with a win and a Minnesota loss. So definitely something Chicago wants to look forward to doing is getting a big win here. Of course, Minnesota later on will be playing the Portland Panthers. But we got a game here that has to take place. Seattle Lumberjacks, Chicago wind attack. A lot on the line for both teams here. Let's see who can get the W, and let's see first how they line up. Spencer starts things off for Seattle, followed by number 42nd to the home. Sorry, I can't talk, folks. Buzzoff takes the captain's position. Definitely one of the best players in the league, too. But nonetheless, it's a 5-point gainer there for the Seattle Lumberjacks is Desert Chief. Now to the home side of the field, the team that at the end of the day could be Central Division champions. The Chicago wind attack. They start off with Glitter, followed by R. Inferno takes the captain spot, and a 5-point gainer will be Racerette. So here we go. Glitter and Spencer to start this game off. Big game for both teams involved, and Chicago's up 5-0. 42nd now out there trying to tie this one up for the Lumberjacks. Can't do it. 10-0 wind attack in the lead. But here comes Buzzoff for Seattle, looking to keep Seattle's hopes alive. And he does. 10-5 the score, and here comes R now. And R gets the game-winning flip. Seattle has been eliminated from the 2013 playoff race. 15-5 the final. The Chicago wind attack have a win. And you know they're probably going to be watching that Minnesota-Portland game later. Remember what I said. Minnesota loses that game, and the wind attack will be the 2013 Central Division champions. Back-to-back-to-back division champs, as a matter of fact. Coming up next, Southern Division rivalry game. Houston Oilers, New Orleans Gladiators. Just stay tuned to CDL Live.
All right, our next game, a Southern Division battle about to take place. The Houston Oilers on the road to take on the New Orleans Gladiators. The Gladiators trying to hang tight here in the playoff race and stay close in their divisional race as well. Of course, the Houston Oilers looking to play spoiler today. They can't make the playoffs themselves, but they look to ruin the Gladiators' chances. Let's find out what will happen. Oilers, Gladiators, next on CDL Live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Live. Another huge game as far as the Western Conference playoff race is concerned. The Houston Oilers on the road to take on the New Orleans Gladiators. Now, the Oilers are playing for pride in July, have no chance of making the playoffs. But the New Orleans Gladiators are currently sitting 10th in the Western Conference. And actually, they came into this game day only 7 points out of a playoff spot. So definitely they are in the need of wins, because a loss and maybe Portland getting a win or Phoenix getting a win, they could be out at the end of the game day. Figure the most they can get right now is 86, knock that down to 83, and if Phoenix wins later, gets to 84, and Portland wins later or something like that, gets to 86, or they overtime lose, get to 84. That could leave the New Orleans Gladiators out of the playoff hunt. So, huge game for New Orleans, which means it is a huge game for Houston, because they love to play spoiler. So, let's take a look what these teams bring to the table for this game. Houston starts things off with Magpie, followed by Whitetail. Blue Dragon 2 at the captain spot, and Silver Spider will take 5-point gainer position for the Oilers. To the home side of the field, the New Orleans Gladiators come out with yellow Corvette, followed by Tigre. At the captain spot will be Menace, and at 5-point gainer is Lagera. And also keep in mind, though, you know what? They wouldn't be out of the playoff spot because they're only a few points behind Roswell for the Southern Division. That's right. New Orleans is in the divisional race right now, but still, a loss right now. The most they can is 86, knocked that down to 83. Yeah, they even be out of the divisional hunt because Roswell has 85. So, New Orleans, backs against the wall. Can they fight their way out of this situation they're in here? It doesn't look like it right away. Magquad gets the flip on yellow vet. No interference called. It's 5-0 Houston. Tigre now out there. Clean collision, but no flip. That one almost an interference, but Magquad just misses Blue Dragon 2 on the sideline there. 10-0 Oilers. Interference call. Menace trying to keep. Interference called there. Menace trying to keep New Orleans alive in this game, and another interference. Magquad keeps running into New Orleans lineup, but he does go down there. Menace keeps the Gladiators alive in this game for now. 10-5 Houston, but that is going to be a game-winning flip. Menace goes down, and the Houston Oilers may have just played spoiler on the New Orleans Gladiators. Now the most point, 15-5 the final. Oilers with the win over their division rivals. Now the most New Orleans will be able to get is another 9 points, which would put them up to 83 points in the standings. So, that being said, with the win, Phoenix could basically clinch the spot from them. And Portland, all they would need for sure, they might have already done it actually, because the most wins New Orleans can get now. Oh yeah, they can still get a couple wins, but yeah, Portland an overtime loss in that case. That's all Portland would need to knock them out of the playoff spot. So, nonetheless, I mean, right now the Gladiators season really hanging tight on the ropes. So they're definitely going to be watching because their playoff hopes might come crashing to an end tonight. But they might not. So we will inform you of that, of course, as everything goes down, what's going on. But 15-5 the final. Houston Oilers get the win over the New Orleans Gladiators. Another division battle coming up next. It's a Southeast division battle, though. Tampa Bay Gators, Carolina Wildcats. Next on CDL Live. Stay tuned.
All right, our next game, it's a big one here. A Southeast Division battle about to take place. The Tampa Bay Gators on the road to take on the Carolina Wildcats, the Wildcats. With the Cleveland Wolves getting a win today, the Wildcats need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. If not, they will be out, done for. Tampa Bay Gators, that division rival, looking to make that happen and play spoiler. Let's find out what will happen. Gators, Wildcats. Next on CDL Live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Live. Our next game, yet another game with huge playoff consequences at hand, depending on what happens. But nonetheless, yes, the Southeast Division battle about to take place. Tampa Bay Gators on the road here. No chance of making the playoffs for themselves, but they look to play the active spoiler. The Carolina Wildcats are their opponent. Southeast Division rivals of the Gators. And for the Wildcats, they need a win to keep things alive here. I mean, a loss means the most points they could get is 82. So actually, they need to do a tie or better to for sure keep them in the playoff hunt. A loss, their playoff hopes are crashed, done. Cleveland got a win today, really putting their backs against the wall here. See how the Wildcats respond. But first, let's take a look at these lineups. The Tampa Bay Gators send out Pocket Blaster first, followed by Battle. Enzo 3 at the captain spot, and a 5-point gainer for the Gators is going to be Gold Gunner. The home side of the field, the Carolina Wildcats start things off with Yellow Ferrari GT, followed by Red 23. Rocket Oil at the captain spot, and a 5-point gainer will be Mustang 1. So here we go. Carolina's playoff spot on the line here, and they got the lead. 5-0. Wildcats. Out comes Battle, and Battle. He goes flying, but doesn't hit anything. It's a clean flip there as Yellow Ferrari GT goes down. We are tied at 5. Red 23 comes out there to take on Battle. And there's the guy, Battle. He might be Rookie of the Year material. As you can see, his defensive abilities on this field, just something to behold here. Still tied. And we are still going to be tied. 10-10 now. It's both Red 23 and Battle. They both go down. 2 team captains going at it. Enzo 3 out there for Tampa Bay. Rocket Oil out there for Carolina. And Rocket Oil goes down. 15-10 the score. Tampa Bay in the lead. Looking to complete the spoiler win here. Carolina's playoff hopes rest on the shocks of Mustang 1, so to speak. Well, you know, he don't have shoulders, so yeah. Needs to keep Carolina in the game here against Enzo 3, and he does! Mustang 1 will force overtime. Everything right on the line for the Wildcats at this moment. I got to take a second here. I mean, I'm trying to think of what an overtime loss would do to their chances. It'd take, wow. Things right on the line for them here. Of course, I'm going to do mathematical equations, but they need the win. Really, they do need the win. And they got it. The Carolina Wildcats get the W in overtime. Mustang won, the hero of the day for Carolina, because he gets the flip on goal. Gunner and Enzo 3 to put this game away. 20-15 the final. Wildcats get the win over the Tampa Bay Gators. Wow. With backs all the way up against the wall as far as they could go in between a rock and a hard place, the Wildcats somehow use those claws to get their way out. I know, animal puns, whatever. Coming up next, San Jose Storm, St. Louis Twisters. Should be a great game on CDL Live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, another big game here on CDL Live, our July 19th game day. The San Jose Storm are the ninth seed in the Western Conference, just one spot out of a playoff spot, and only 6 points behind the Phoenix Firebirds, who hold the number 8 seed right now. So they're trying to keep that gap close and possibly close that gap here today, while the St. Louis Twisters are on home turf, and a win will clinch them a playoff spot. So a win to get St. Louis in. Let's find out what's going to happen. Storm, Twisters, next.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Live. Our next game on tap. Huge one for both teams here. A lot at stake as far as the Western Conference playoffs are concerned. The San Jose Storm currently hold the number 9 seed in the Western Conference. They're 6 points out of a playoff spot coming into this game day, and currently, right now, 6 points out with only 4 game days left. So, and the one problem with this is they are 4-6 in their last 10 games. Can the Storm bounce back from the slump they need to going into these last 4 game days? To the home side of the field, the St. Louis Twisters. A win today, and they are in the 2013 playoffs. So, with a win, Twisters clinch a playoff spot. That's the gist of it. So, the Storm need to pick up their game. St. Louis trying to clinch. Huge game in the Western Conference here. San Jose Storm versus the St. Louis Twisters. Let's take a look at these lineups. For San Jose, Metallica, 1147, Brandon. He starts off with 48 hours, followed by Wasp. At the captain spot is going to be split in 2, and at 5-point gainer will be Phantom. Kamikaze style lineup coming from Metallica tonight. To the home side of the field, the St. Louis Twisters respond to that with the heavyweight that because Phantom's at the 5-point gainer there for San Jose. St. Louis coming out with their heavy hitter, Mini Truck. Followed by Silver Indy. At the captain spot for the Twisters is going to be Diablo 1. And at 5-point gainer will be Mustaine 2. Huge game for the both of these teams. 48 hours, Mini Truck. We'll see how aerodynamics and defense goes up against Smash Mouth heavy hitting here. 48 hours up against Mini Truck. They both go down. We are going to be tied at 5 to start this game. Now we have Wasp out there to take on Silver Indy. Interference call. San Jose almost had the lead. They'll go at it again. And another time here. Interference call, but no flip on the play. Timeout call by San Jose. And they're going to try to rebend these wheels straight. They just don't like the way that he's rolling. So they'll try to fix it here, and they think they got something that they can live with here. And they got it. All right, so the first timeout taken by the Storm. This game continues as they switch sides of the field. Wasp and Silver Indy, the game tied at 5 here. And Silver Indy will go down on that collision. 10-5, Storm in the lead. Diablo 1 out there. And he'll go down. 15-5 will be the final. Wasp gets the job done, goes 2-0 in the San Jose Storm. Back on track with a huge win there over the St. Louis Twisters. And the Twisters got hold of that playoff clinching celebration for another day. Storm get the win. 15-5, the final. Coming up next, Roswell Aliens up against the Phoenix Firebirds is a Southern Division battle on CDL Live. Coming right at you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next game coming up is a crucial one from the Southern Division, the Roswell Aliens, on the road to take on the Phoenix Firebirds. These two teams battling it out right now for that Southern Division title. Of course, Roswell holds the 4-point lead for the division right now. The Phoenix Firebirds looking to widen the gap back to 6 over San Jose, as well as catch up to Roswell. Huge game for the Firebirds, huge game for the Aliens. It's like a playoff game. And what better rivals to have it between? Aliens, Firebirds, coming up next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Live. Huge game coming up next for both the teams involved in this Southern Division matchup. It's the Roswell Aliens on the road to take on division rivals, the Phoenix Firebirds. Roswell sits first place in their division, in the Southern Division. Phoenix is the second place team. The Firebirds only 4 points behind the Aliens in the standings. A win in regulation today for the Firebirds could cut the lead to just 1 point. And they also want to regain that 6-point lead that they had over number 9 seed San Jose, and possibly, depending on how Portland does, maybe even take 7th seed away from the Portland Panthers. And of course, St. Louis, their loss today to San Jose, I mean, that would put them only 2 points behind St. Louis. So, a lot of things on the line for the Phoenix Firebirds. For the Roswell Aliens, they just want to widen that gap on their division. I mean, they only got a 4-point lead. A win in regulation could get it to 7 for them. A lot at stake for both teams involved. I mean, not only that, not to mention, with the win here today, the Aliens could have a playoff spot clinched. With the win, the Aliens could clinch a playoff spot. So, a lot on the line. Let's see what happens. Right after I answer Alex, who's calling me on the phone, you know what? No, we're not going to answer him. Let's take a look at these lineups. F1 Racer comes out first for the Roswell Aliens, followed by Dragonfly. Spectite at the captain spot. At 5-point gainer will be Double Shots. I don't know what the hell he just said. I don't know what he just said, but he interrupted this whole thing. But nonetheless, that is Roswell's lineup. To the home side of the field. Enzo 2 comes out first for the Phoenix Firebirds, followed by 40. At the captain spot will be Green Arrow, and at 5-point gainer will be Red FXX. Here we go, Enzo 2 and F1 Racer. Game on, and it's going to be tied at 5. Now 40 out there against Dragonfly. Dragonfly off the camera, but still up. And both him and 40 still up again, they'll go at it. Look at Dragonfly, the defensive capability he has, interference called there. Still tied at 5, and it's going to be 10-5, Roswell in the lead. Green Arrow up against Dragonfly here. Green Arrow needs to get the flip to keep his team in the game here. And he gets it. Dragonfly is down, and we are tied at 10. Green Arrow now faces off with Spectite. Spectite and Green Arrow go at it. Green Arrow goes down. 15-10, Roswell Aliens in the lead. And now here comes Red FXX for the Phoenix Firebirds. Can he force overtime? No! The Roswell Aliens get the win, and they have clinched a playoff spot here in 2013. Huge win for the Aliens. Big loss for Phoenix. Still hanging on to the 8th seed, though, but now only by 3 points. But nonetheless, there's still more action to come. Hartford homies, Bradford Brawlers next. The Roswell Aliens go into the playoffs again. There's more to come on CDL. Stay tuned.
All right, it's time for our next game. It's a rematch of the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. It's the Hartford homies on the road to take on the Bradford Brawlers. Of course, the Brawlers won this series last year, 2-1 in the best out of 3 conference finals, but the homies looking for revenge today. Only thing is, they don't have that same roster they had a year ago that got them a 46-1-0-3 record. They've been doing quite poorly ever since the trade deadline, but they look to do a little bit of recovering today and actually hold that 6th seed in the East. They're having a hard time doing it now. They slipped down quite a bit. The Bradford Brawlers, on the other hand, they have got that number 4 seed clinched up, and they're looking to gain another 3 points to keep up with the Pittsburgh Destroyers in that chase for the Northern Division title. So both teams with a little something to incent them to win this game. Let's find out who can get the W. Hartford homies, Bradford Brawlers. Tim Geyser, Shane Geyser. Uncle-nephew battle. Next on CDL Live.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Live. Our next game, a matchup between 2 teams that already have a playoff spot clinched in the bag. The Hartford homies on the road to take on the Bradford Brawlers. It's a rematch of the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. It was a best out of 3 series. Bradford won the series 2-1 to make it to their very first Crash Bowl, and they won it. Nonetheless, it's Tim Geyser versus Shane Geyser, uncle-nephew, here on CDL Live. Like I said, both these teams, playoff spot already clinched. But if anything, Bradford, they are in the hunt to take the Northern Division now. Pittsburgh got a win today. At the start of the game day, they were only 2 points behind. Now they are 5 points behind. Brawlers looking to close that gap. The Hartford homies, they don't want to fall any more than they already have. Because right now, they're in a position where they have to play Puerto Rico in the first round. Now, granted, that's no easy task, but you fall to 7th, or if you fall to 7th, you're going to end up playing Pittsburgh, or if you fall to 8th, you're going to end up playing against Philadelphia. So, the homies trying to avoid a slide. They got a 10-point cushion, but they don't want to wear any of that away going into these last few game days. Homies, Brawlers, let's take a look at the lineups. For Hartford, Gray Ghost will start things off, followed by Gold Dust. At the captain spot will be Hammer, and at 5-point gainer will be Gold Dragster. To the home side of the field, the defending world champ send out Spinebuster, followed by Green Indy. At the captain spot for the Brawlers will be Escalade, and Bradford's 5-point gainer will be Dirty Rat. New surgery techniques have kind of shown that this may not be Escalade's last season, as it's been thought. He might pull a Brett Favre on all of us. But nonetheless, Grey Ghost putting up a good fight against Spinebuster here. That was interference against Grey Ghost there. He would have had a flip on Spinebuster, but he does that time. Spinebuster is down, and the score is going to be 5-0. Almost interference on the cord there, but hanging right on the rug over it. Nonetheless, 5-0. Homies in the lead. And look at Grey Ghost defensively. There was no interference there, and there ain't there either. Defensively, just a master right there, but Green Indy, too much aerodynamics for him to handle, and now comes Gold Dust. Game tied, 5-5. They switch sides here. Gold Dust and Green Indy going at it, and Gold Dust is down. 10-5, Bradford now in the lead. And here comes Hammer to do battle with Green Indy. And wouldn't Hammer like to get revenge from what happened last year in the playoffs? They both go down, both him and Green Indy. 15-10 Bradford. Escalade looking to end it. Gold Drakester trying to force overtime for the homies. Can he do it? And let me tell you, Escalade's a tough one to take down here. He's just so heavy and so stable. And look at that, just like that. Game over. 15-10 the final. The Bradford Brawlers had the win over the Hartford homies. Coming up next, Portland Panthers, Minnesota Maniacs, another awesome game on CDL Live. Stay tuned.
All right, it's time for our next game on CDL Live. Two good teams going at it. The Portland Panthers on the road to take on the Minnesota Maniacs. Portland, a couple more wins will clinch them a playoff spot. And the Minnesota Maniacs, they've got a playoff spot clinched, but they're trying to catch up and pass San Diego for the fourth seed to get that home field advantage in round one of the playoffs. Let's find out what happens between these two in this game here. Panthers, Maniacs, should be a good one. Coming up next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our next game here on this July 19th game day. And it's a huge one for both teams involved. The Portland Panthers on the road to take on the Minnesota Maniacs. Last stake for both of them. Minnesota has a playoff spot already in the bag, clinched up. They are currently sitting 5th seed in the Western Conference. Now, they ain't going to be able to pass San Diego for 4th because San Diego got a win today, but they look to close the gap back to 1 point with a win here. Not only that, Minnesota needs a win to keep their division title hopes alive. Chicago got a win today. If Minnesota loses this game, the Chicago Wind Attack will win the Central Division Championship for the 3rd straight year. Minnesota trying to keep that from happening with a win here today. To the road side of the field, the visitors in this game, the Portland Panthers, a win today because of St. Louis loss. A win today could bump the Portland Panthers up from 7th place in the West to 6th place in the West and have them only 1 point away from clinching a playoff spot in the 2013 playoffs. So, huge game for both teams involved. Nalu loves Portland Panthers, Gary Malazzo's Minnesota Maniacs. Melanie up against Garen. Let's see what happens here. Blue Lamborghini will start things off for the Portland Panthers, followed by Solar Reflex. At the captain spot will be Monty, and at 5-point gainer will be Pro. To the home side of the field, Minnesota. Did I just call them the Maniacs? But yeah, that was the Portland Panthers you just saw. This is the Minnesota Maniacs. They'll start off with Black Spinebuster, followed by Green 7. At the captain spot will be Diablo 2. And at 5-point gainer is Side Draft. Alrighty, here we go. Game on here. Blue Lamborghini out there for the Panthers. Black Spinebuster out there for the Minnesota Maniacs. And it's going to be 5-0 Minnesota. Black Spinebuster gets the flip on Blue Lamborghini. And here comes Solar Reflex to do battle with Black Spinebuster. Good battle on hand here. Two talented cars going at it. And look at Solar Reflex somehow staying up after these collisions. Interference call. The Spinebuster ends up leaning against the wall. Oh, yeah, you guys like my fanny there. Anyways, continue the entertainment. Still 5-0 Minnesota in the lead. And Solar Reflex and Black Spinebuster going at it here. Good matchup on hand. And Black Spinebuster is down 5-5. Portland has tied this game up. Green 7 now out there against Solar Reflex. And Solar Reflex is down. Taken down by Green 7. 10-5 Minnesota in the lead. Monty trying to tie this game up here. And he can't do it. 15-5 will be the final. The Minnesota Maniacs have a win over the Portland Panthers. And they keep their division title hopes alive. Would have been gone with the loss here today.
Alex Johnson in the house, people.
The owner of the Blades and the Puerto Rico Playas has just arrived, Alex Johnson. Ready to see his teams play, and they're about to play next in the main event. Washington Patriots, Puerto Rico Playas. A win can get the Patriots in the 2013 playoffs. Huge stakes at hand. Next on CDL Live, the main event.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of our July 19th game day. Here on CDL Live, the Washington Patriots on the road to take on Southeast Division rivals, the Puerto Rico Playas. Just yesterday, the Puerto Rico Playas clinched the Southeast Division title. And they look to rub that salt into the wound with a win here today over the Washington Patriots, who are looking for a win here today. A win gets the Patriots into the playoffs. And of course, one of the Patriots love revenge on Puerto Rico for taking that hope of having a consecutive back-to-back division title season away from them. Nonetheless, always a good game when these two link up as of late. Let's see what happens here today. Patriots Playas next on CDL Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our main event here on CDL Live. The Washington Patriots on the road getting set to take on Southeast Division rivals and the Southeast Division champions of 2013, the Puerto Rico Playas. So Washington, no chance of clinching the division, but they can clinch a playoff spot with a win here today. Puerto Rico, well, they got at least the third seed in the East clinched, so they're just trying to have a good season until it ends and playoff time comes. So bigger game really for Washington than it is for the Playas, but nonetheless, you always want to beat your division rivals, and that's what Puerto Rico is going to try to do today.
I got nothing to lose.
Exactly, nothing to lose for Alex Johnson's Playas. Starting off for Washington, though, will be Cockroach, followed by Black Phantom. Blue 512 at the captain spot, and at 5-point gainer will be Croc Rock. To the home side of the field, Blue Star will start things off for the Puerto Rico Playas, followed by Cove Light. At the captain spot will be Far Future, and at 5-point gainer is going to be Kid Custom Jr. So here we go.
He would have got flipped in.
So here we go. Cockroach and Blue Star. Game on. Interference couple. Two of these guys sitting low. And Cockroach is going to go down. 5-0. The score make it, almost 10-0 there. 5-0 Puerto Rico in the lead. And look at Black Phantom staying up somehow. But not that time. 10-0. Puerto Rico in the lead now. Everything resting on Blue 512's shoulders, and he's got a flip on Blue Star.
I thought that would happen.
10-5. Puerto Rico in the lead. Cove Light going for the game-winning flip. He's got it. 15-5 the final here in our main event. Cove Light getting the game-winning flip, and this one is over. 15-5. The Puerto Rico Players get the huge win here to end our July 19th game day. Well, what else can be said? You know what? I think I'm going to give you the stand-ins because that does it for our fourth last game day here in the Car Demolition League. Only 1 week of regular season games for the pros remaining. We're at the tail end of things, ladies and gentlemen, so get ready to see those stand-ins flash across the screen as we head into the last week of the pro regular season. Of course, 2 more days for you guys. I mean, I know it's pre-recorded, but 2 more days. Game 3, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Bulls up against the Toronto Canadiens, D-League semifinals. Comes down to Game 3 to see who will face Edmonton for the Soldiers Cup. That will be happening in 2 days' time. As always, thank you for watching. See you next time on CDL Live.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.